some response, and it can generate the result that you'd like to see. And there are many other this kind of artificial intelligence in a general term, such as robot or some sort of optimizations that probably says unknown to you guys, but you can think of it as we are solving a set of math equations or even some rule-based AI. But these days, when we are talking about AI, we are actually referring to the machine learning and deep learning algorithms. That is just a branch of the general artificial intelligence. So machine learning, traditionally it means some data-driven algorithms that are able to learn or extract some consistent patterns from data and to predict some results based on the historical data. And for this type of traditional machine learning algorithms, we have also experienced a lot these days, especially on those social media platforms, such as when you open Spotify, they may recommend a list of songs that may interest you. So for this type of traditional recommendation systems are typically using this machine learning techniques. And nowadays, there's another term that is called deep learning. So deep learning basically means we're using so-called artificial neural networks. And this neural network model is deep, so that we call it a deep learning. And these days, researchers find out that, hey, if we stack multiple neural networks and train such a neural network by using large data, we're able to achieve a very, very good and intelligent agent that can predict the result we want. So, in fact, this deep learning, of course, it's a not new term, but recently, since 2012, we started to find out, oh, it's so effective. Then people started developing many deep learning based models and applications, such as ChatGPT, or recently OpenAI released the Sora. I don't know if you have ever watched that video. It's basically a generative model that is able to generate a short video based on humans' text input, right? And there's Copilot or even self-driving cars these days are driven by this type of deep learning models by using the deep neural network. So I'm not going into any details, technical details, but just to give you a basic understanding, if you think about whatever machine learning models or deep learning models as a black box, and it includes some mass computations inside, no matter what. Then the intelligence comes from when you feed a data into the model, and the model can generate some result, such as if you wanna recognize a photo, whether there's a cat or dog inside, you basically need to send the encoded data into the model. Then the model gonna generate some encoded output. Here I use the word encoded because think about no matter machine learning or deep learning models, there are some mathematical models, and they cannot basically use the raw or various format of input, such as if we use the language as an example, models may not be able to understand the character. So that when we use machine learning, we're actually converting the characters or the words into some numerical representations, which we call encoding. Then in this way, the models are able to understand these numbers, and correspondingly, the model will also output some encoded result, which are basically also a sequence of numbers. These numbers will then be translated into text that can be understood by people. Okay, so these days people may think about, hey, what AI can do and why we think AI is important. Because if we look back, history, we will find out that we will find out that starting from the first industrial revolution that was back in 18th century, then gradually to the second industrial revolution, and now we are in the so-called Industry 4.0, the fourth industrial revolution. The main theme of the technology advancement is to improve productivity. Like in the first industrial revolution, people found out we can use steam engines as the main drive power to improve the efficiency. And in the second industrial revolution, people started using electricity. And half centuries ago, people invented semiconductors and started using electronics and computers trying to improve the productivity. Here, if we think AI gonna be driving the current industrial revolution at this stage, the main purpose, the main objective for many of the AI applications is to improve the productivity of human society. So AI as a technology will be really for the human society. But these days, if we think about 21st century, there will be a new requirement that is sustainability beyond only the productivity. Here, people started thinking about, hey, how can we use AI and many of the technologies to create a sustainable world and sustainable future for our future generations? So here I can give you a very, or maybe you have seen this, some news that ChatGPT or GPT-4, when people train such a model, they actually use 10,000 or even more GPU cards and train the model for 30 days. So over that period, a lot of energy are consumed and heat are dissipated. That is not very sustainable. So how do we use these AI technologies to really promote a sustainable future? This is going to be another topic. So let me skip through a few slides because I know this talk is going to be ending at 12, I think. And let me just show you some interesting AI applications that can be used for manufacturing. So when we talk about manufacturing, what are we, well, a very intuitive idea that you may think about is, hey, can we use robot in manufacturing? Well, that is true. And beyond robot, also called automation, what else applications we can think about by using AI for manufacturing, right? So here are a few points and a few applications later I'm going to show you guys, including quality check or predictive maintenance or energy efficiency improvement, supply chains, and later is how this kind of generative AI and ChatGPT is able to promote manufacturing. So the first application is robots. If you think about robot, hey, it's basically some automated machine that can be used to replace people and doing a lot of work. But when there is many robots like this, a question is how do you coordinate this robot in a very efficient way and let the robot to operate in a safe way, intelligent, responsive, and timely manner. So regarding this aspect, we actually have many types of algorithms that can be used, but overall, if you think about to achieve a robotic application, we can basically split the AI algorithm into two aspects. One is perception, the other is task planning. If you think about AI as a human is able to perceive what's happening in the environment and is able to make a decision about what actions we are going to do next. Right? So in this sense, we will find out, hey, in terms of the perception, we may be able to use some computer vision models to simulate how people see the world and how people understand the world by using vision. Then use some so-called reinforcement learning algorithm to optimize the movement of robot and to do the task planning. So this is a very simple application here in terms of robot. Then the next interesting application would be some quality check, such as if you know a printed circuit board or if you use 3D printers, sometimes there might be some defects, and those defects may not be perceivable by humans, or people may not find those defects by taking a long time inspection. In this sense, how do we use some AI algorithm, computer vision algorithm, that we can train such an AI, and the AI is able to find out those little defects in efficient and precise way. So, as I said earlier, all these AIs are basically for improving productivity. And there is also some other AI applications, maybe I can show you here, is how do we use those perceptions and AI algorithms trying to monitor a machine in some non-intrusive way, such as in this picture, we're using text recognition and hand recognition to detect whether this 3D printer is being used by somebody or whether the 3D printer is in some good conditions. The last thing I want to bring up here is in terms of the generative AI or ChatGPT, right? So right now, this kind of generative AI is still just at the stage of generating natural language or generating some pictures. What if we can use this generative AI in product design, such as, hey, later I'm gonna I want a new smartphone case. Then can I just input some natural language text and tell this generative AI to design such a product for me, and later we can and later this AI can also select the material for us, do the machining, assembly, and then finally we have the product. So overall, the point I want to bring up here is that regarding AI applications, there are so many in our society, in our life. And the question is, how do you find a problem? And how do you formulate a problem that can be understood by AI? And then we can develop such an AI application and try to make our life better. All right. So I think we don't have much time, Ishan.
Yes. And
Yes.
I think now we should go on to the questions, but before that, let's just give a round of applause to Dr. Ren for that amazing presentation.
Thank you.
So yes, thank you so much. And so if you have any questions,
Thank you very much.
and if anyone has any questions, so
Cheryl has a question.
yes.
Is there a way we can
can get the slides to look at?
Oh yeah, so is there a way that they can get the slides to just go over them?
Oh yeah, of course. I can share with you, Ishan.
Yes. Okay.
Ishan,
So,
can
and
you
also-
post it in the classroom?
And oh yeah, I can post it in the Google Classroom as well and share it to you. So how did you get interested in artificial intelligence? So what motivated you to pursue this?
Oh, this is a good question. And to me, I would say that because I find technology is interesting. And what is the most interesting technology nowadays? Well, people have different opinions. But to me, I would say, hey, if we are able to develop some technology that later gonna be beneficial to not only us, not only here, people at UCI, but also some other peoples or the entire society, this will interest me and this will motivate me to develop this new technology. I think the question, the problem that we may want to ask ourselves when we choose which way to go is, hey, if you think about later, you get up in the day at 6 a.m., what is the most interesting thing that you want? And then, yeah.
I have a question. You have a question. What's your job? Wait, I have a question, like a real question. Where did you go to college?
So I think that is all the time that we have left
Ah!
for this presentation. And I would like to